Hi, and welcome to episode 18 of Rivers Knitting Chronicles. My voice sounds a wee bit rough. The cough still hasn't gone away. I'm trying to get an appointment to go in on Monday. Every time I tell myself I'm really going to go to the doctor this time, then I start feeling a little bit better, and so I don't go, and I put it off, and then it's the weekend, or stuff's going on, it's a holiday, and then I'm sick again. So I at least want to just know that it's something I have to wait out for real, or if it's silly to keep suffering when there's something I can do about it. So hopefully I will not cough on you. I'm going to try to get through this without a cough drop. I feel like maybe all the cough drops and things, maybe I've got something I need to cough up, and so I'm trying to not, but I'm also trying to drink lots of fluids, and so I've got water right here just in case I need it. In my picture of me, I'm really out of focus, and I'm not quite sure why that is. I hope that it's not out of focus for you, so I'm going to just keep going, because if there's something I can do, I don't know what it is. Okay, so Rivers Knitting Chronicles should have knitting, and guess what I have? Knitting! I finished the hat that would never end. Finally finished. And I was going to wear it for you today, but I put it on, and it really needs curly hair, and I'd already brushed my hair out. And so, while it looked okay with it brushed out, as long as I left it on, taking it off for you to see it would then not be something that I want recorded and shown to the public. So I just threw my hair up, and here is my hat. It is I to this day still don't know 100% how to pronounce it. It is either the Saint-Michel or Saint-Michel. It's SAINT-MICHEL, so it's a little odd, but Beret, and here is the top of the hat, and I'm hoping you can see, because now I can't see it. I'll back it up a touch. There you go. So there's the pattern. It's like a floral motif in the middle, and it comes out, and then the little arms come down into the bind off. I was smart this time and looked up the instructions for and found, after watching multiple videos, how to do a stretchy bind off that worked for me. A lot of YouTube tutorials talk awfully fast, so I really need to get on the ball. Some people love them and can handle the fast talking and just kind of know what's going on, but it was tough for me, so I am gonna get onto that. So they come down around, and then you've got this. Oh, it's gonna really mess up my hair. But I got a thing in it. What I'll do for y'all. Here, I'll put that right there so I can put it back up. Right there. Okay, so I left myself a teeny bit of tail. I'm always so scared that I'm going to pull bind-offs out. So here's how I wore it when I wore it, kind of to the side, and then you can kind of see the pattern all here. I can wear it to the back. It's really cute on. If my hair's curly, it's even way cuter, I think. The backwards of the camera is all still odd to me. Yeah, so I really like it. It's looking a bit like a chef hat right now. I'm having trouble getting it on right. But yeah, with curly hair, it looks adorable. And there you go. So, it's the St. Michael's Beret. I think I mentioned this last week. It started its life as a doily pattern, according to the designer, and then a friend changed it up. I did mine in fingering weight, and she has, and it's got two different charts and everything. A chart to keep it in fingering, or a chart to switch it up and put it in DK. So if you need something with a little more warmth, this is Florida, so I don't really, even right now, it's getting a little warm in here. The air might cut on in a bit, but if you need something with a little more oomph to it, you can do the DK weight version, and it's just as cute. Obviously, I haven't done that one yet, so I can't really say. The pattern was nice. It did seem to go on forever, but maybe that's just me, and I was getting impatient with it. I wish I could knit them faster. A lot of people said, oh, I want it. If I could knit them faster, I'd make them for people, and as such. I blocked it on a dinner plate. It fit perfect. The bind off wasn't too snug. When I first finished and I went to put it on my head, it was too snug, and I got a wee bit nervous, but then I thought, well, block it first, because it looks not great anyway, and so I blocked it. I could have put a bigger plate in it, I think, and then gotten it more floppy, because it's still got lots of room that I could have blocked it bigger. And I don't think I have a bigger plate, though, but if I get a hold of one, I might reblock it in the future just to get it a little bit more slouchy, because I think I'd like that a wee bit better. So anyway, it's going away, a finished object. I think it's the first time all fall. Yay! Say goodbye, hat. And yeah, I wore it already once this week, and when it's supposed to rain actually tomorrow, so I won't wear it in the rain, but when it gets a little bit cooler again this upcoming week, I will wear it to school and have people beg me to give it to them, and I will not. So that's my finished object. So for those who have been following along, I mentioned last week that I was challenged to what is now being called the sock caper, and it's been fun. We've been having a good time going back and forth through social media. We've texted each other, we've Instagrammed each other, we've Facebooked each other, we've been talking in the thread in the group, and if you're not a member of the group, please join. It's lots of fun. It's Rivers Knitting Chronicles, and so that's been going back and forth there. So the challenge, which was issued to me, was to... we could start at midnight on Thanksgiving Day. In the U.S., that was this past Thursday, the 27th, I think. Anyway, I, of course, did not start at midnight because I am not a night person. I am a day person, but I started when I woke up. And we're just knitting until we finish. And the winner gets bragging rights. And so we both ended up, she's also in the house cup, but she is a Hufflepuff, and so she turned in her part of a sock as a partial for Hufflepuff, and I turned in my part of a sock as a partial for Gryffindor, because I check all that red and my Weasleys, and they're trying to figure out how to get in the TARDIS. I keep telling them it is bigger on the inside, and so they would totally fit, but they're just hanging around the outside right now. Anyway, so we both turned them in as partials, and the sock I chose to do is a pattern by Adrienne Fong, Belly Button Knits, on Ravelry, and I discovered her patterns, I want to say it was not this past one, but the time before doing the Tour de Sock, and I just loved the pattern that she put in that Tour de Sock. And I want to say I did another one of hers, but don't quote me. But then Tour de Sock again, and I did one of her patterns. And then for Sock Sniper, the sock that I worked vehemently on that I didn't finish, also was hers. And so for Sock Caper, it just seemed fitting that I would do another Adrienne Fong pattern. So this pattern is called Bling, Arkansas. And it's called Arkansas, I discovered, because it actually comes from a book of socks for 50 states. It's not her book. She just has a pattern in it. She has a pattern for Arkansas. And so this, I will show you. I am halfway done with the second leg. Not quite halfway, like 2 or 3 rows off of halfway done for the second leg repeat. And don't check my manicure. It's knit or do nails. I can't do both. It's got lots of beady goodness. There's beads. Oh, this top gave me a pain in the neck, and I almost didn't do it as written, but then of course it curled. So what it asked for was, and this is what I never could figure out from the videos on YouTube, it asked for a provisional cast on. I've done them before, I could figure it out, but I couldn't get the provisional cast on to work in the round and not have my stitches twist. So that is something that I'm going to keep working at, and when I figure it out, I'm going to make a video so that other people can figure it out. Because I looked at all those videos, and some people spoke so fast. And I know when I'm just talking to you on the show that I speak quickly, but if I were trying to give you step-by-step instructions, it wouldn't make sense for me to step over myself while you're trying to do the thing I just told you to do and not be telling you to do the next thing when there's no way you had time to do the first thing. And it was very, very frustrating. So the cast on itself took me forever. And finally, you know what I did? I gave up. I just did a regular long tail cast on. And then I picked up stitches when it came. So I was going to just start at the midway point of the cuff. Just do a regular cast on and not do where it folds in. Didn't work because it just rolled. So what I did was, you can see there, I went ahead and did all of the rows, and then I just picked up stitches. Again, sorry about my nails, I'm embarrassed. I just picked up the stitches and knit them together so that I got the same look, I think, as if I'd have done a provisional, especially because it's on the inside and no one can see it, without the pain and the hassle of doing that provisional in the round, because that was so frustrating. The other thing that was a bit frustrating for me, and it's because I'd never done it before, I'm getting better with it, the bead size that I have don't fit on the crochet hook that I have. So I've done beading before, sorry, I got an itch. I've done beading before, but only using a crochet hook. So I had the stuff to do it with the floss. So you put it on maybe, if anyone really doesn't know how to do it, I can do a demonstration for that. Just let me know. Either comment on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, just put it in the comments. If you're on Ravelry, just go ahead and put it in the group. But anyway, I feel like I am talking fast. So I had to do it with the floss, and it was my first time with the floss, and the floss is fiddly. And these are beautiful beads, but some of them just didn't have this right size hole, and so they just get stuck on the floss, and it was tough to do this row of them all the way around. I think the second sock will not be so bad because I now have experience with the floss. And then the beads down the side, and the beads on the side are going, and in the middle. Here's the other thing, and if anyone has a suggestion, I'm going to take it. Do you see that middle row? There's beads all in there. But the yarn keeps eating them, and I don't know what to do about that. I keep trying to kind of push them to the... There's one. And it called for a third color, but instead of a third, I just did a second color, in part because I'm not sure I've got enough beads. But see... There's a little fellow. See, there's these beads all through here. Come back up. See him? But right under the row with this bead, there's 2 yarn overs. And so where those yarn overs are, it seems like that's eating my bead. And I don't want to... The other thing about our sock caper is that we are giving our socks away. We have people in mind that we really think we want to have them, and we really adore the people that we're thinking of giving them to. So I don't want to go trying to experiment and make them all wonkified. So I'm going to just keep doing them. On this side, that one bead is kind of showing, but like there's those topaz beads are all through here, and I'm hoping maybe blocking them they'll show. If anyone has any suggestions to get them to not be so crazy hidden. The yarn is Miss Babs. It's called Wheaton, and so it's kind of an off-white, light yellowy, beigey kind of thing. So the beads really do pop, which I think is just lovely. The patterning is so much fun to do. Once I got the hang of the floss, I started having a really good time with these. I will tell you that the first pattern repeat, it took me 2 days to get through that the first time. This time I'm halfway done, and I was halfway done at noon. We've been doing other errands, running to the grocery store, and doing some other things. So I'll definitely finish at least the second repeat, if not getting to the heel turn before this evening is out. I can work on that while I'm uploading all of this for you guys. So it's one of those that once you get it, there are sections of it that repeat every row, so once you get those in your head, you can just kind of go, go, go. I dropped a stitch. Can you see where I dropped a stitch? Ha ha ha. Nope. That's why I love lace. I did find it. One great thing about lace is that you can really kind of, I don't want to get lost, so I keep my patterns on the computer, and I keep the row before it and the row I'm on together, so I can always look back and see, okay, I should be knitting into a yarn over, I should be knitting into a two together, and it really helps you not get lost in your pattern. I realized, and this was 3 or 4 rows back, I think, that somehow I was off, and I kept going back, and I could not figure it out. And so I just fixed it in there, and I was like, well, I don't know what I did. And then I went around 2 more rows, and I looked, and about 3, 4 rows down, in the middle of the lace, there was this just kind of weird-looking bump that was a end of a loop just kind of sticking up by itself, not holding on to anything, and I thought, uh-oh. So what's great about lace is those things don't show, but what's tough about lace is it's really hard to get those guys back up, and I wasn't going to rip out. I don't. Well, there's beads, there's all of these 3 togethers and 2 togethers, and I would have made a far bigger mess. And so I managed to finagle him back up there, and I really don't think you can, someone out there is going, it's right there, it's right there. But seriously, I look at it and I can't tell where it is anymore. So, yeah, and it's that other side. So, yep, because there's my loop for the front, so it's on the back side. So, yeah, I have no idea where it, yeah, I don't even remember where it was. It's there somewhere. Oh, wait, I think it's, yeah, it's just not obvious. I'm happy that I didn't rip back. I'm happy that I fixed it. And if you're scared of lace, it's one of the best things about lace is that it is far more forgiving. A big old sea of stockinette, any little twisted stitch, any little place where your gauge changed a little bit, you got tense, you're watching a scary movie, and all of a sudden your stitches get tighter, and it totally shows. Lace, you can really finagle things around if you need to, and get it to still look pretty good. So I'm really happy with this. I'm super jazzed about my hat. I don't want to make promises about finishing these socks, but I'm enjoying knitting them immensely. They're not something that I could take to his dance class and work on. So I might cast something else on, or I might use that time to just kind of relax and watch things. We've had okay, so bye knitting people who only watch for knitting. Okay, so we had a really good Thanksgiving. I mentioned last week that we've had some life changes, and almost across the board, the consequences of such have been very positive. And so the kids and my daughter, who is graduating from college in 2 weeks, she only has to make a 60 on her Spanish final, and she's done. So, and she's shooting for over 70. She said she's been trying to tell herself in her head she has to make better than a 70, so that the minimum she does is that, 71, and that way she's got lots of room there. But anyway, so that's the only one that she's even slightly stressing over, and it's Spanish 3, and so it's not like a intro to Spanish thing. So, and she's been working really hard at it. She's been having a lot of trouble, and she works overnights, and so it's been it's been a stressful semester for her as well. But anyway, so she came, I went and got her that morning. She came over. My son was here. I took advantage of the BOGO sales, and so we got a lot of Thanksgiving stuff, and we cooked together and hung out together and watched some Doctor Who together and just had a really great day together. She had brought some of her knitting, and we were going to go ahead and film at least part of an episode together so that she could share what she's working on. She's doing work, like I said, where she works overnights. What she does is, if she says most of the time it's businesses, but it's businesses or houses. If your alarm goes off, the people who call you to see if you're okay and if your house is really being robbed or whatever, she's one of those people, and she mostly does the overnight shift. Let me grab some water. So she had signed up to work that night at 10, and so by the time we were like, hey, do we want to do it? She was like, I really need to go ahead and get a nap in before work, because she obviously can't, fall asleep at work while she's monitoring for people's safety. So she didn't get to do it. But what she's been working on, and maybe hopefully we'll get an episode in before she moves to London. She's been doing, while at work, she's been doing squares. Somebody, I guess here locally, I don't know a ton of specifics about it, so I'm hoping that she will be able to explain, but they're asking for squares, and they're putting them together into blankets to go to the hospice, the local hospice here, for people who need hospice service, so that they have something kind of homemade with love. And so she's been doing a lot of those. She's just been churning them out left, right, and center. It's kind of, she doesn't like lace or more intricate knitting. She enjoys kind of the repetitive, she enjoys the simple kind of back and forth rows. And especially when she's at work, that help her pass the time and kind of clear her mind, mental floss kind of thing. So she's been doing those, and she had brought one over to show, but then we, sleep was more important than being on the show, which I completely understand and agree with her, so yay her. But yeah, hopefully, definitely before she leaves for London, I'm sure she'll do the show at least one more time. It'll probably be after she graduates, because she's got 1 week left of classes, and then she's got a week for finals, and then graduation, I think, is the day after her last final, or it's the day after the last final is given. I'm not sure if she has finals up through the last day or not. So, and then she's done, and then she's in grown-up land, I guess. So that's that. Yeah, things have been going really well. We did house stuff. I really need to organize this stuff back here, but that's not super high on our priority list. We've been organizing different sections of our house and getting chore lists together and dividing up the jobs between Liam and I, and I think the routine of that has been really good for him. So yeah, he's been great. He hasn't been sad or anything, and I've been great. So yeah, the only bad thing is I watched a Criminal Minds episode where they were kidnapping boys, and so then, yeah, that freaked me out for that night. I need to not do that. That's a really scary show. But otherwise, yeah, we've been having a really, really good go of it. Things have been nice, and hopefully they will continue to be nice. The only bad thing is and I'm really hoping it was nothing. The check engine light came on in my car. It was that morning, it was Thanksgiving morning, and it was so cold, and I was driving in the ridiculous cold, and it came on in that, and I was like, hopefully there's some type of correlation. I did take it to Superloop because we were late for an oil change anyway, and they checked all the fluids and everything, and did an oil change and all of that, and did a fuel system cleaning thing. It was way too much money to spend, but I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. And the light is still on, which is upsetting, but the car does seem to be running better. and so I'm trying to not stress it until I have time and money to take it into some place and hopefully be told that it's really nothing and they can just get the light to turn off so I don't panic every time I get in the car. But other than that, things are good. Again, like I said, hopefully I will have way more progress on this sock next week and maybe 1 or 2 other gifts cast on so that I can begin working on those. And I think that's it. I teach next week full-time, the following week full-time, and then the week after that are finals for high school kids. So it's a really short post-Thanksgiving time for the kids, and for us, so that's kind of nice. Next Sunday, since I do these on Sundays, next Sunday he's got a really long Nutcracker rehearsal. When the schedule of when specifically in that time they need him comes out, that's when I'll know for sure if I can record next week. Last time he had a solid 2-hour rehearsal, so I dropped him off and came home and then went back and picked him up. If it's like that again next week where he's going to be in there solid for a specific length of time, then I'll do that and I'll come and record the show. That's what I recorded last time, was when he was in rehearsal. If it's one where he's in for 30 minutes, he's out for 30 minutes, he's in for 30 minutes, he's out for 30 minutes, he's in for an hour, he's out for 15, where that has happened before. And so if it's like that, I'm not going to leave him because I get too nervous. The part of town it's in is not the best, and as much as I can tell him don't go outside, he's 9, and so I would just feel better if I were there. So if that's the case, then we might not have a show next week. But, so I guess don't count on it, but maybe keep an eye out. So, okay, so I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, or a great last week of November if you are not American. And I hope to see you on the Ravelry group, Rivers Knitting Chronicles. The blog with the show notes, which I've been really not providing much info on. I don't know if there's more y'all want. I don't know that people read them. But those are on the blog, which is riversknittingchronicles.com. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, although I rarely do Twitter. I still am not good at that. But I'm pretty good at Instagram, but you're going to see a lot of pictures of me. And that is I am River Cameron on both of those. Okay, so good to see you again this week, and I hope to see you again in the next week or 2. Okay, bye.